Good evening and welcome to Carnegie Town Hall. This meeting of the City Planning Commission will begin with a few introductory remarks. The City of Sioux Falls Planning Commission serves as an advisory board to the City Council. It is the responsibility of the Planning Commission to consider and make recommendations on land use and zoning matters. Actions taken tonight on conditional use permits are final unless appealed to the City Council in writing within 5 days, and any actions taken tonight on initial development plans, alternative plans, or minor amendments are final. Any recommendations made on the preliminary subdivision plan request tonight will be referred to the City Council for action at the third council meeting of this month or at the first council meeting of next month if associated with a rezoning or major amendment. Any recommendations made on rezoning requests, major amendments, future land use amendments, or ordinance amendments tonight will be referred to the City Council for action at the first council meeting of next month. Council meetings are held on the first 3 Tuesdays at 7 p.m. here in Carnegie Town Hall and are televised. The Planning Commission will first approve the consent agenda and then the regular agenda. In order to place certain non-controversial items on the Commission's consent agenda, planning staff and the Planning Commission apply the following criteria. First, the request conforms with the Shape Sioux Falls 2040 Comprehensive Plan. Second, planning staff recommends approval of the request. Third, there are no audience members present or written comments received in opposition to the request. And fourth, the application meets all conditions and requirements of the Sioux Falls zoning ordinance. By approving the consent agenda, the Commission is approving the items on consent. Therefore, upon approval of the agenda, those members of the public in attendance for those items are free to leave. For the regular agenda, the following normal public hearing procedure will be followed for each item. By first requesting planning staff to present a brief report on the item. Second, the petitioner or representative will be requested to come forward and make a statement or answer questions. After the petitioner has spoken, anyone from the audience who wishes to address the agenda item shall be recognized. Then the Planning Commission will discuss the matter further and take appropriate action. We ask that anyone addressing the Planning Commission move to the podium microphone and identify themselves for the record. Please limit your comments to less than 5 minutes. As a courtesy to everyone here tonight, we ask that you please either turn off or silence your electronic devices. This meeting is being televised on CityLink and will be rebroadcast Saturday at 10 a.m., Friday at 7 p.m., and Wednesday at 1 a.m. Thank you for your cooperation.
This meeting for the Sioux Falls City Planning Commission to order for November 1st, 2017. First item on our, and I note that we have a full quorum, and the first item on our agenda is approval of October 4th, 2017, or the consent agenda. So please, Diane, if you'd read those.
Yes, Mr. Vice Chair. Item 1, approval of October 4, 2017 minutes of regular meeting. Item 2, October plats. Item 3, 7457 2017, rezone from the Recreation District to the LW Live Work District for allowed forums located at the northeast corner of North Weber Avenue and East 7th Street. Item 4, 7505 2017, rezone from the O Office District to the RA2 Apartment Residential Moderate Density District for allowed forms located west of South Townsley Avenue and south of West 85th Street. Item 5, 7519 2017, rezone from the AG Agriculture District to the I-1 Light Industrial District for allowed forms located south of East 57th Street and west of Highway 11. Item 6, 7584 2017, rezone from the RS Single Family Residential Suburban District to the RD1 Twin Home Duplex Residential Suburban District for allowed forms located at 6506 and 6512 South Vintage Place. Item 7, 7593 2017, rezone from the RT1 Single Family Residential Traditional District to the C2 Neighborhood and Streetcar District for allowed forms located at 1010 East 9th Street. Item 8, 7618-2017. Rezone from the O Office District to the RCD Residential Cluster Development Plan Unit Development for allowed forms located at 7101, 7107, and 7113 South Man Cave Place.
Thank you, Diane. I'd entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent
We want
agenda.
to see if anybody wants to pull anything off.
Don't we usually do that as part of an amendment? Okay.
Should ask first, maybe.
Okay, very good. Would anyone in the audience like to see any of these items in the consent agenda removed and for discussion in the regular agenda? Seeing none, would anyone on the commission like to have one of these removed for the regular agenda? Okay,
Now I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. If you were here for one of the items 1 through 8, you are free to go. Next item for our regular agenda, we have 3 items, 9, 10, and 11. Like to entertain a motion to approve the regular agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the regular agenda with those 3 items. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Item 9, 7598-2017, conditional use permit for an off-site accessory parking lot located 250 feet from a sensitive land use located at the northwest corner of West 6th Street and North Minnesota Avenue.
Jason Beaver representing Planning and Building Services. This is an application by Carol Muller with Minnehaha County. The applicant is proposing to construct a 54-space accessory off-site parking lot for the Minnehaha County building that's just to the east of Minnesota Avenue. It is located at the northwest corner of West 6th Street and North Minnesota Avenue. The proposed parking lot will be required to have 10-foot front yard setbacks, which they are showing on their concept plan along 6th and Minnesota Avenue. They will also be required a level A buffer yard along the west property line, which includes that 2-foot berm or 4-foot fence and 20 units of landscaping per 100 lineal feet. The proposed parking lot is adjacent to North Minnesota Avenue, which is an arterial street, and a level of multifamily residential exists immediately to the west of the parking lot before you get into any single-family residential homes. Finally, the accessory parking lots are usually not encouraged across arterial streets. However, this particular parking lot is across Minnesota and on the corner of Minnesota and 6th Street, which is a lighted signalized intersection, which should help get the traffic or get the pedestrian traffic across Minnesota Avenue safely. If the conditional use permit is approved, the applicant can construct the accessory parking lot for Minnehaha County. If the conditional use permit is denied, the lot will have to be developed for either retail or office uses. Because the application has provided clarity to indicate the location, nature, and intent of the work proposed, staff does recommend approval of this project, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions from the commission? Thank you, Jason. Is the applicant here? Come forward, state your name and address for the record.
Jeff Bolt, Sarah Associates, 216 South Duluth Avenue. This parking lot is basically intended to serve as staff parking. As the jail is expanded next year, that will eat up a lot of the staff parking to the east of the existing jail. And of course, this would serve as overflow for county customers as well. We do intend to meet or exceed all the buffer yard requirements to the west side there with the residential. Beyond that, I'd answer any questions that you might have.
Questions from the commissioners? No. Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone from the audience that would like to address item number 9? Seeing none, look for commission action.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And it's been moved and seconded. Do we have any discussion? No discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
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 All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Item 10, 7532-2017, alternative site plan for an alternative landscape plan located at West 69th Street and South Louisa Avenue.
The applicant here is Damian Grable, representing Avera McKinnon. It is located at the southeast corner of South Louisa Avenue and West 69th Street. This is the location of their new campus that they are constructing. The applicant is proposing to relocate the required street trees from the front yard to an alternative location on the property due to an existing utility easement at West 69th and also on South Louisa Avenue. As noted in the initial development plan, the applicant was required to submit this alternative site plan due to the 10-foot utility easement in the front yard. These utility easements don't normally allow landscaping in them, so they are moving them outside of the front yard setback. If the application is approved, the applicant can provide the required number of street trees in alternative locations outside of the front yard, and you can see them located here in kind of the red boxes along the different front yard, different streets. If the application is denied, the applicant would not be able to meet the zoning ordinance requirements for street trees. Because the subject application meets the intent of the street tree requirements within the Shaped Places zoning ordinance, staff does recommend approval of this application, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions from the commissioners? Seeing none, thank you, Jason. Is the applicant here? Come forward, state your name and address for the record.
Damian Gribble with Earhart Griffin and Associates, 300 North Dakota Avenue, here in Sioux Falls. Again, just to repeat what Jason said, there's an existing fiber optic line that is within the front yard setback, and all along 69th Street, there's also an existing overhead electric line, so that would prohibit us from planting the street trees in the front yard. We are providing the minimum amount of trees for the site, and we're actually providing 20 additional trees for the site. So other than that, if you have any other questions, I can answer those.
Any commissioner questions? Seeing none?
Thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address item number 10? Seeing none? Any commissioner action?
Motion to approve item number 10.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve item number 10. Is there any discussion? Quiet group today. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
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 All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Item 11, 7588-2017, alternative site plan for an alternative landscape plan located at 1801 North Tarrant Circle.
The applicant on this application is Aaron Canfield. He's representing Pods. The applicant is proposing to provide the landscape in lieu of a fence on the south and east sides of their property to screen the outdoor storage area. An 8-foot tall retaining wall exists on the west side adjacent to Interstate 29. And instead of the 6-foot high fence, they are looking at putting a 6-foot high hedge on the south side and then some evergreen trees on the east to screen these pods from North Tarrant Circle. Outdoor storage is required to be screened with a 6-foot opaque fence or berm. The outdoor storage area is located south of the building, as you can see on the aerial, and unscreened on the west, south, and east sides. On the west side of the storage area, adjacent to I-29, is an existing 8-foot tall retaining wall. that provides the adequate screening and meets the intent of the ordinance. On the south side of the storage area, adjacent to another warehouse building, the applicant is proposing to provide a 6 foot, provide a 6 foot tall evergreen hedge, as you can see on the site plan here. And on the east side of the storage area, the applicant is proposing 4 spruce trees, screening in lieu of a fence. A 6 foot tall opaque gate will be provided at the entrance of the storage yard to complete the screening on the east side. If this application is approved, the applicant can provide landscape screening of the outdoor storage in lieu of providing an opaque fence. If this application is denied, the applicant is then required by ordinance to provide fencing on all 3 sides of the outdoor storage area. Because the subject application meets the intent of the screening for the outdoor storage area within the Shape Places zoning ordinance, staff recommends approval of this application. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any commissioner questions? Hearing none. Thank you, Jason. Is the applicant here? Please come forward, state your name and address for the record.
Aaron Canfield, 402 West 9th Street, Pods Moving and Storage. Yeah, just like Jason said, we'd just like to, instead of putting a fence around the south lot there, we'd just like to put the trees there instead of a fence and gate it off with a 6 foot high security gate.
Okay, any questions? Thank you. Is there anyone from the audience that would like to address item number 11? Seeing none, I'd be open to commissioner action.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve as submitted. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, seems like it makes sense, especially when we're screening industrial from industrial, that this is a good way to use some landscaping.
Okay, any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed, no. Motion carries.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Make it a great night, Sioux Falls.